Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm going to be looking at the Sony full frame 85mm f1.8 prime lens. Now this is a lens that I've had an eye on for a while. I've done a lot of research into it, looked at its pros, looked at its cons, also looked at its competition, and recently I saw my local camera shop, Harrison's Cameras, had got one in, a used one that was at a really good price. Now I've got no worries about buying used from Harrison's because everything that they sell comes with a 12-month warranty and also with a money back guarantee as well if you're not happy in the first 14 days. So I thought it was definitely worth having a look at it. And also I wanted to trade in my Sigma 50mm f1.4. I'd had some problems with it focus hunting, and also that's a really heavy lens and I want something lighter and with more telephoto because in just a couple of weeks I'm heading to New York and I don't want to have to take my 70-200 to keep my bag as light as possible. So it seemed like the best option, so let's have a look at what you get in the box. So in the box you get the lens hood, obviously the lens itself, all your warranty and your instruction manual, and of course the box itself. So once the lens is in your hand, obviously you've got the plastic lens hood, you've also got the plastic lens cap that's showing that huge front element. You've then got the rear cover showing that it's a Sony E-mount lens. And also you've got the manual focus ring, which is an electronic one. And you'll also notice that there is a higher filter on there. Now that doesn't come included. I picked that up in Harrison's at the same time as purchasing the lens. You've got the autofocus manual focus switch, and you've also got a focus hold button on there as well. So now that we've unboxed this, it's time to put it to the test. So my good friends Megan and Molly are coming over from Manchester for a catch up. So while they're over here, we're going to do some shooting, get some videos, get some stills, and show you guys how this thing works in the real world. So there you go, that's the images and video that I got today. Huge thank you to Megan and Molly for coming down. Make sure you check out their Instagram links in the description below. So firstly, the pros and the cons of this lens. So first things first, this lens is super sharp. Even down at f1.8 to 2.2, it's really sharp. Now I'm not one for pixel peeping, but I shot mainly between f2.2 and f4 and I didn't see any problems with sharpness whatsoever. Also the lens is really fast, so the autofocus is rapid, and on my A7 III it also covers the entire viewfinder as well, so didn't need to worry about autofocusing whatsoever. The vast majority of the time, even when shooting video, the focus was exactly where I needed it to be, which is a huge bonus. Also it's just the focal length. I love 85mm as a focal length. It's perfect for portraits. You get really nice compression but no distortion whatsoever. And it's just a really flattering focal length for portraits. So yeah, the fact that it's 85mm is obviously the strongest point of the lens. In terms of the size, just like I said when unboxing it, I really like the size and weight of this lens. It's small and compact, but it doesn't feel too small or flimsy, Balances really nicely on the A7 III, especially when compared to heavier lenses like the Sigma Art lenses or the G Master lenses that are significantly heavier and do make the camera feel a bit front heavy. And then finally, and most importantly, the price. So there are three options of 85mm lenses for the Sony full frame lineup, and that is this one, the f1.8, which brand new is around £600. There's the Zeiss Batis, which is almost twice that, which is normally about £1,100 from what I could see. And then there's the Sony G Master, which is the best part of £1,800. So this lens is a third the price of the G Master and just over half the price of the Batis. And from all the research that I could do, I couldn't find any reason why the other two were worth that much more. That's not to say that they aren't better lenses, but not for almost twice the money for the Batis and 3 times for the G Master. So the price point of this and the quality that you get for that price point is fantastic. I mean, I picked this one up used for just 400 quid, which is crazy. Now in terms of cons, I could only find 2, and I really struggled with those, and even those aren't massive drawbacks for me. So the first one is the fact that the focus ring is an electronic one, it's not a manual focus by wire one, which can slow you down sometimes when it comes to manual focusing. But because the autofocus is so good and the fact that it covers the entire viewfinder on my A7 III, it's not something that is a massive concern for me at all. What's also not a concern is the fact that this lens doesn't have inbuilt image stabilization or IBIS. Now the reason why that's not a concern for me is because I shoot on the A7 III and the A7 III has it built into the body, so it doesn't really affect me, but it is something that's worth noticing if you use a Sony camera that doesn't have it built into the body, because you will notice those sort of small camera shakes a little bit more. So something to bear in mind, but as I say, not something that affects myself. So who is this lens for? Well, firstly, it has to be for portrait photographers, because as I mentioned, you've got that beautiful focal length with really nice compression, no distortion whatsoever, and it's really sharp and fast, shot wide open, giving you those blurred backgrounds. It's definitely a must for any portrait photographer, but also for videographers that are wanting like a second focal length for B-roll or even shooting things like interviews or sports. You get that option with a small compact lens, especially when compared to something like a 70-200 or, like I mentioned, the Sigma or G Master lenses that are significantly bigger and heavier. Also as well, it's fantastic for street photography. Because of that focal length, it allows you to get closer again with such a small compact lens, and I cannot wait to use this in New York. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel for the videos that I create whilst I'm there, as I'm definitely going to be using this for some street photography in New York. So overall, as I'm sure that you've gathered by now, I'm a huge fan of this lens. It's fast, it's sharp, it's compact, and I really enjoyed using it today, and I can't wait to use it more. I hope that you found this useful. I really strongly recommend looking at this lens if you are looking for something a little bit more telephoto. If you're looking at an 85mm and trying to decide between this, the Batis and the G Master, for the price point, I can't recommend it highly enough. As I mentioned, I got mine from Harrison's Cameras, which is a local camera store to me, and I do strongly recommend using your local independent shops. But if you are looking for it on Amazon, I will link it in the description down below. I hope that you found this helpful and found this useful, and it's given you some insight into what this lens is like. Please make sure you drop a like on this video if you have done. Let me know in the comments what are the lenses that you're looking at, what are the reviews that you'd like to see on this channel. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.